Hello, it's Anita with Stamp with Anita. Hello, hope you are having a wonderful evening. Welcome to my Stamp with Anita page and to my Full of Life Craft Along card class. So I actually held this very same class in person in my studio. I offered it and we got together here last week. Had a wonderful time with a couple ladies here in the studio, and they made these 4 awesome projects that we're going to be featuring, and we're going to make those same 4 projects tonight. The benefit was those girls that came got the packet that had included the whole pack of DSB, some of the bling, and then all the card kits. And then if you had a chance to pre-order this ahead of time so that you would have it ready for tonight as we gather together. I'm excited about those that pre-ordered and that are going to be crafting along, and I'm excited about those that are just here to watch as I make these projects. And then if you didn't get in on the packet ahead of time and you fall in love with these projects that I'm going to be making, it's not too late. You can, basically this is a free online class, you get to watch it for free, but if you want the make and take packets that I'm going to be using tonight, so basically the pre-cut cardstock, all prepped, cut, and scored for you, then all you have to do is put in a $40 order and I will send you those for free. And there's a couple other opportunities. I'll explain more of that later, but I thought I would just go ahead and get started first of all, and let's just get going so we can stamp. Again, it's the Full of Life, my Craft Along card class. Again, my Full of Life Craft Along card class. I'm so excited. It is shown in our mainline catalog on pages 42 and 43. And the whole suite just has some awesome products. Here's some cards here. This might look a little bit familiar. That was my inspiration. So was this for some of the cards we're doing tonight. But this is nice because the suite, there's just a easy button where you can just put in one item number and it gives you all of this in your cart, which is kind of awesome. But the stamp set, which let me see, I have it right here, is the stamp set, which you can order that by itself, or it's always better to order the bundle, which would be the stamp set and the die together. And here's the pieces of the dies that's in that kit, and we're going to be using those tonight. It also contains this yummy ribbon, this iridescent, beautiful striped ribbon. It includes these iridescent faceted gems. And then the other thing it includes, which I have been using up, this is 6x6. Some of our cardstock 6x6, some is 12x12. This one happens to be 6x6. And it has all these wonderful designer series paper. So just when I got this catalog, at first I was like, I was so drawn to this. I just knew I had to do something with it. So let's get started. Those that came to my class have access to this PDF file. So they have step-by-step instructions and all the sizes of everything. If you ordered the kit ahead of time to craft along with me tonight, you have that. If you would like that, once we're done, you want the PDF file, I do have that available for purchase as well. So here's the kit. Those of you that have your kit, go ahead and pull your pieces and parts out. And we are just going to start. I've got 4 different cards and we're going to start. All right. I'm going to pull this out. These are the pieces and parts in here. And I want to show you this real quick. So in the instructions, I had said to make a template. And basically, I did this ahead of time, so I didn't have to do this on camera here. But we're going to be doing plenty of die cutting on camera, which might be interesting. But basically, I just cut out a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, which is just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is just going to be a stencil, and I took this die, laid it on the cardstock, and I ran it through my Stamp and Emboss machine, and I cut that out. Okay, so if you pre-ordered your kit, I already done that part for you so that you would just have the stencil ready to go. So that makes it easy. This is a piece of the cardstock, and this is the blueberry bushel, which I absolutely love. One of the newer colors. So that's just 5.5 by 8.5, and I cut it in half. So the card size is just our normal typical size, which is 4.25 by 5.5. And then I've got a couple pieces in here. I've got, these two are the same size, and one's going to go on the outside and one's going to go on the inside. And these are actually cut to 3.75 by 5. So both of those are cut to that size. I've got a little piece of scrap that we're going to stamp on and die cut some hearts out of. This is, or no, this is for the leaf, not hearts. Hearts are on another card. This is just a piece of white that's, let's see, I don't think I wrote, it's just a 1/2 inch by 3.25. And all these sizes are in my PDF file. This one is just cut at 4 by 5.25. And then this is just a piece of scrap that I actually, believe it or not, ladies, you'll be proud of me. I actually added our adhesive sticker paper onto the back of that. So, let's see. To start off with, what I'm going to do is take this piece right here. And I'm going to take my stencil that I made. And I'm going to lay it right over top. I'm going to kind of center this on here. I made the stencil bigger than the piece, so that way it's completely covered and protected. I'm going to lay this down, and we're going to use some ink and some blending brushes. Here's some, these are the small blending brushes. So the inks I'm going to use is Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to try to do this without getting ink on my fingers. I don't think I'll succeed. Coastal Cabana and this blueberry bushel, which I love. So a little pointer, I ended up taking and just punching out the colors that I'm using out of cardstock so that I knew which ones went to which color. So just to make it easier so I don't make a mess. So what I'm going to do is take this. I'm actually going to lay down a Post-it note just so that I can burnish off on this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it into my ink pad. And these are like little brushes. We have these in this size. We also have them in these larger size. So they're like little brushes in there, but they're so soft. This kind of replaced our sponges that we used to have. So anyway, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like rub it off a little bit just so it's not so harsh. And then I'm going to come back in here and just kind of burnish this. And it doesn't really matter where. And then I'm going to take the next color into my Coastal Cabana, rub some of that off. I'm going to burnish this, add some of that color on there. So I love this stencil because then you can just use this stencil over and over again. This one's the Blueberry Bliss, and this one is really rich in color, so I'm definitely going to rub some of that off. And every time I make this card, it looks completely different because, you know, I've put the colors on a little different. And the nice thing, I'm holding this down. If you want to take a peek, you can always see what it's looking like. And if you want to say, oh, I want a little bit more color here, then you can add. You could also tape it down, but I'm just holding it down. All right. So I think I'm happy with that. But look how fun this is. Love it. Love it. Fun way to use your dies, a different way to use your dies instead of the typical just die cutting things out. But making stencils with them, it's just a great idea. I'm going to close these up just so that I don't get ink all over me. Not that that's going to really help. So I could just leave this like this. I think the first sample that I made, I did, and I just like splattered it. But I think what's fun is to run this through a folder, and that's the instructions that I give. I'm going to grab my, this is my big one. I'm going to use the smaller one in later. But so it's going to be super close to the camera there. I apologize for that. But this is the large stamp cut emboss machine. So I'm going to lay down the platform. It makes it really easy because it's got you know, the instructions of depending on what you're using, whether you're using dies or folders, how to lay it out. So I'm going to put this there. This is the folder that I'm going to use. This is the painted something. You literally could use any folder that you have. So I'm going to stick that on there, and then I'm going to run it through. I like this folder just because it kind of just gives it, it goes really well with the artsy look of this whole set. So let me get that out of the way. Set this aside. All right, so let's open this up. So here you have it. So I added that texture, and it just makes it look like a little piece of art. I just love it. All right, so let's do next. This piece right here is what I'm going to cut this heart out of. So let's grab my dies. I'm going to grab this one and this one. Now, when I made the stencil, all I used on the stencil was just this part, like this, and punched it out. But for this, I'm actually going to use, this time I'm going to pull out my little baby, the little baby. This is the mini Stamp and Boss machine, which makes it nice to have at your table. And the majority of our dies actually will run through this. And again, it has little plates that are labeled, tells you exactly which order they go in. So this is 1, these are number 2. I'm going to lay this down. So what I'm going to do, like I said, this is my white, my basic white, and I put the sticker backing on the back of this. So instead of just cutting one of these out, I am going to be cutting out, I'm laying this on here. This is the hardest part. Basically, I want to nestle these in together. And what I have found is I take a little post-it note. And I know, ladies, apparently there's post-it note tape, which I still have to order. I keep forgetting every time I'm at a big box store to check to see if they have it. But I'm basically, it just holds it in place so that when you run it through the die machine, it's not going to shift on you. So how many of you have used the Post-it note tape? I need to get my hands on some of that. Let me know if you've used it, where you got it. So I'm going to run that through. Trying not to shake the table too badly. Sorry, ladies, if it's, I'm sure it's shaking my camera because my camera is attached to the table here. So, all right. Let's move this aside. I'm going to take this off and then pull this out. I do need to snip this a little bit. So I'm just going to snip it like right there so it comes out. I'm going to save the rest of this because I'm going to use this to cut out something else. So on this one, let me get my little poker here. I'm going to pull this out. These actually come out really nicely. This little outline heart, I'm going to set aside, and I do put that in the instructions because I'm going to use that on another card. And then this one, these all punch out. All these little negative spaces. I did a video earlier, well, last week, I guess, where I kept some of those negative spaces inside. But for this one, I don't need those. So there we have it. There it is. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back here to my base. And this sticker paper, oh my goodness. Usually I just use my, this multi-purpose liquid glue and have to put it on there. But this paper makes it so nice. I probably need to put my readers on. And it just peels off. Look at that! It basically changes any of the die cut pieces into stickers. So I'm going to take that. I had to grab my readers so I could actually see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put that on top of this. So there you have it. So I love the dimension that's starting to happen. The coloring that's in the back, the folder, and then the heart right there on top. All right, so I've got this piece here, and this is going to be for my word. Again, the stamp set, there's lots of options that I could use in here. I think I was going to show you the one that just says thank you, but there's all kinds of ones here, and I'll show you some cards later where I used some different words. I'm going to use my blueberry bushel. I'm going to ink this up. Oops, there we go. And right in the middle, because I'm actually going to be cutting this a little bit. I'm going to clean this off before I make a mess. We used this in the class the other day, and one of the girls didn't know that we carried this. It doesn't come in this case. This is just one of our old stamping cases, but it's a Stampin' Chamois, which is nice to use with our clear stamps. Photopolymer, I guess I should say. All right, so then I'm going to take that. Here's my piece of Lemon Lime Twist, and I'm just going to take my Stampin' Snail, and I'm going to just layer it literally right on top, but leave a little bit hang out on the bottom. And then I'm going to take my snips, and I'm going to leave this side like this, but on this side, I'm just going to kind of cut it from the corner up at an angle, just to give it some interest. Okay, and then my other piece that I need to do is my leaf. So I'm going to stamp this with the blueberry bushel. And then what I'm going to do is just simply take a blender pen. These come in a 3-pack. And I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to just pull some of the ink from the edge to color it. The blender pens are clear, so it's great because you can use them with any. I could actually dip it into an ink pad to add color, or I can just like this, when I do it right away, I can just pull some of that color from what I've already stamped. And then I just take it and just roll it out until it's clear. Now, if I wanted to, I could go into another ink pad. Let's say if I wanted to do this. This is the Lemon Lime Twist, just to show you an example. I could just pull up some of that color. I don't really want it too strong. Let's do it over here. There we go. And I could add a little bit of that green on there if I wanted. So there we go. Or like I said, just leave the blue. So again, those are blender pens, and they come in a 3-pack. So there you have it. Now I'm going to pull out my handy dandy mini machine here again. I'm going to stick this on here, and then this one, I'm going to pull one of the dies out. And I don't think I need a Post-it note on this one. This one is not quite the detail as that heart, where I was really trying to line it up. Nestle it, I guess. And then layer the plate on top, and then just run that through. Pardon the shake. All right. There you have it. Punch that out. So I've got that piece. All right, so let's get all the pieces and parts back in here. Let me close this so I don't make a mess. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to stamp the inside. I'm just going to take that same leaf and just do that. Take some adhesive. This is my Stampin' Seal. Layer that on the inside. Again, I can just take my blender pen if I just wanted to add color. This one I'll just do it really quick and just do the blue. And it just gives that watercolor look. It does not have to look perfect, because that's the whole point of watercolor. It never looks completely perfect. And then this gets layered. I've got my Coastal Cabana piece that I'm going to layer. Then this piece right here, and then I'm going to layer on top of the Coastal Cabana. Just like so. And then this piece right here, oops, see, this is why I need to close my ink pads, ladies. Oh my heavens. Those that have come to my studio and stamped with me know I always end up with ink all over me. All right, I'm going to pull out some dimensionals here. Let's see, I'm going to use the regular size for this one. Just going to need a couple of them to stick on the back here. Love these. These are little foam pop-ups. And then I just take my fingernail and just stick in the middle, and it pops up the edges, so it makes it really easy. So if you have trouble, just stick it, and then it causes the edges to pop up. So this is going to go right about, let's put it right about there. And then my leaf that I cut out and lost. Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. You know, when you're in the studio with me, and I do that, I'm always telling the ladies, where did that go? Okay, and then I'm going to just use just our mini glue dots. I'll pull that out. I love these little things. I'm just going to, there's a tiny little glue dot right there. I'm just going to attach it on. And then this is just going to, actually, I think I want to have it tuck out from behind there, like so. And then last, well, actually not last, almost last, some of our baker's twine. This comes in a pack that has like, I want to say 4 or 5 colors in it. They're all neutrals. And I'm using the white out of it. I'm going to tie a little bow. Cut that. This is also the part that the ladies always make me do for them when they're in my studio. The girls were so happy the other day when they came because I already pre-tied the bows and put them on little glue dots for them. I know, I was spoiling them. So I'm just going to use a glue dot like that. And I'm just going to stick that right there just to add some interest and, again, just more texture to this card. And then last but not least is we're going to use those faceted gems that I was talking about. Absolutely love these. Let's see. I'm going to take some, attach one there. There's like 2 different sizes on here. Put one there. And then let's also stick one. Let's just stick one right on. So there you have it. There is card number 1 done. All those textures and layers, I love it. So who wouldn't love a thank you card like that? So there's card number 1. I'll set that one aside. And then let's move on to card number 2. Oh, and the envelope. I always tell people, oh, I got a spooge on there. You have to have something on your envelope. So I already have one from earlier that I stamped a couple hearts on, or you could stamp just the leaf on, just like we did. So any of those options would be cute to go with this card. All right. So the second card, we're moving on. Go. Again, this base on this, let's make sure there's nothing hidden in there. Okay, the base on this one again is that blueberry bushel, and folded in half. I'm going to score that. Okay, set that aside. And then again, this one also has 2 pieces of the 3 1/4 by 5 inch. So one for the inside, one for the outside. This piece of scrap right here is again for the leaf. Let me go ahead and pull this out. So I could have done these at the same time, I guess. And this one, again, it's just pulling that color. You're gonna be a pro at this by the time you're done. Just pulling some of that watercolor. There you go. And again, taking the mini cut and emboss machine, we're gonna line this up. We're gonna run this through. Get that in the camera there. All right. It likes to shift when I let go. There we go. Again, I need to order that tape. All right. Set that aside. So there's our leaf that we need for this card. And then this card, we're also going to be using that heart that we had cut out a little bit earlier. I'm going to set that. I'm actually going to set these aside for a second, because what I want to do, and I probably should have done this to start with because it's going to have to dry. I'm going to take one of the pieces that we're using for the front, and I'm going to show you another fun technique. We use those blending brushes on that first card. This one, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to pull in, I'm going to actually pull in a tray here. I'm hoping not to make this a complete mess all over my space here. So what I've got some of these spritzers, and these come in a 2-pack, and they're just filled with water. There's all kinds of fun techniques you can do with them, even using like alcohol. But for this, we're just going to use just water. So I'm taking it, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to spray on this card a little bit. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to stamp it in this Coastal Cabana. Let's put these colors over here so you can see. Hopefully I'm in the camera there. So I'm going to stamp on the Coastal Cabana, and then I'm also going to spray this again. And then I'm going to take it and just kind of splotch it on there. Okay. I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to stamp it in the blueberry bushel. Now this one I'm actually going to stamp it off and then spray it. So I stamped it off a little bit just because I don't want it as strong. That ink color is so strong. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. Okay. And I know that's kind of going to look like a mess. Oh, and I did get ink all over me, girls. Of course I did. Oh, all right, I'm going to close this. And I have my heat tool used for heat embossing, and I'm just going to use it to hit on this a little bit, just to get it to dry a little bit quicker. You wouldn't have to do this. You could just set it aside and let it dry. You can even move that ink around a little bit. But this will just quicken up the process a little bit. You could also, I'm just using the basic white cardstock, but you could also do this on our watercolor paper, which would even give it even more texture and dimension, which would be really cool. Just really trying to dry this out a little bit, because otherwise the things that I glue on top of it aren't going to want to stay. Again, if I were doing a bunch of these, I would probably do that part first and then just set these all aside and let them dry, because they will air dry pretty quick. So there, it's just give this really fun watercolor technique on this card. All right, I'm going to put this away. So next, what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, is I've got this piece of scrap. This is a piece of scrap of the blueberry bushel. And again, we're bringing this baby out. I stuck some of the adhesive sheet on the back. And on this one, what I'm cutting out is these two dies. I got a little negative in there, so let's pull that out. So the friend, and then there's also like an outline of the friend. And so these are going to end up going on here like this. Actually, I'm going to flip this. So here's the adhesive on the back. Here's my plates again. How many of you have the little mini stamping emboss machine? Stamp, cut, and emboss machine. It's a long word. I still find myself saying Big Shot all the time. I guess this would be a mini shot. I love this little thing though. Okay, I've got to get it started. I'm sitting on slippery paper here. All right, there we go. You're getting the full effect. There you have it. Get all this back in the window here so you can see what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to pull this off of here. I don't need the die. Now, I will give you a little pointer here. This little, I'm going to get a Post-it note here. Hold on. I got this little Post-it note. So, this little one right here for the word friend, if you look here, there's a little dot for the I, which is so easy to lose. So what I've been doing is I take a Post-it note, and this is the sticky part of the Post-it note, and I lay it down on here, and then I poke that dotted I out first so that it's stuck on there, and then I don't lose it. Otherwise, I lose it. So there's my friend. Isn't that pretty? It's so fun. And then this one we're actually going to be using on another card. So I'm going to set it aside. So let's put it all together. So we've got our base, the cardstock base. This would be for the inside. And actually it's going to go this way. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And again, you could stamp something in here, perhaps the leaves or the heart. I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana this time. I'm just going to stamp the leaf in there like that. And then here's the outside. We're going to go ahead and put this together. Yeah, there's a piece of Coastal Cabana. This is 5.5 inches wide. By, let's see, 2 1/4. Oops. All right, and we're just going to run that right across the center of the front of the card. Like so. I don't know if that's, let's see if I have something to get that off with. I don't know what I did with it. It's probably a little bit of adhesive. I don't know what I did with my adhesive remover. There we go. All right, so this is this, and then this piece right here feels like it's pretty good. It's dry. And let's see, do I want it to go this way or this way? I think I'm going to go this way. And then this just gets layered right over top of that. Ta-da. And then, since I did this with the adhesive sheet, it makes it so much easier than with the glue, other than getting it off the adhesive sheet. Which I think, if I got my pick tool out, I think that would work. Here we go. Once you get it going, it's fairly easy. So here's my little heart, and I think I'm going to stick that right about here. Like so. Then I'm going to take my friend, same thing. There we go. I'm going to stick that across here. Like so. You could go straight across or you could take it up. And remember I said I have my little my little dot. There we go. And I'm going to put that right there. And then last was my leaf. And again, I'm just going to use a glue dot. Like so. And we're going to put this, let's see, I'm going to tuck it kind of right there. And then again, I want to tie just a little bow. This is out of the white baker's twine. that comes in that multi-pack. And scissors. And again, I'm just going to put that onto a glue dot to put it down. Get it finangled how I want it. Well, I didn't even make it through the second card without getting ink all over me. All right, and then I'm just going to add that right there. And then last, but not least, we're going to add some bling again. All right, so let's take one. Let's see, let's stick one down here. Maybe here, like so. Stick one up here. Second card, all finished. How fun is that? Again, just all the different layers, very artsy looking. All right, so let's go with the next card. Here we go. This one is going to have a white card base. So this one again is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then these are the pieces and parts that I have. This came out of the Stylish Shapes dies. If you don't have those dies, why not? Because I just love these. They have all kinds of circles and I believe rectangles or banners or squares. I don't know. There's a lot in there that I absolutely love. So this one, I'm actually going to take the heart, the little hearts, and I'm going to stamp that with the blueberry bushel, like so. Oh, and while I have that out, actually, in my circle right here, I'm also going to take the word hi that was in the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that right in the center of the circle. There you have it. And you know what? Since I'm already got my ink out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside. This is going to say, hi, friend. And I think I'm going to stamp miss you on the inside. And then we'll I'll add some more little hearts. Put them over here. There you go. I can think of a few friends that I miss right now. Okay, so there we have it. And then these, again, real quick. I'm going to pop this baby up here. So next time I might just try to cut all these out ahead of time. I don't know what's more helpful if you're following along. If you're crafting along, it's probably more helpful for me to do it pulling in the cardstock so I can pick out. There's all kinds of ones that you could use in here. But I'm just going to use, just for the sake of making it simple, I'm going to use what I used on the sample here. So 6 by 6, and then you simply have to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I've got my paper cutter here. Try to get it in the thing here. So I'm going to cut it at 4 inches wide. By 5 1/4. Oops, that was the scoring blade. All right. So that it's going to layer right on there like that. This side's really fun too. Kind of sad you're covering it up. You could use that side if you'd like. This looks like it's not scored, kind of a little wonky, so I'm going to probably can't tell through the camera, but it's driving me crazy. It's a little off. I'm using my bone folder there to straighten that out a little bit. Okay. That makes me happier. Okay. So there we go. Got that. And then this little piece I saved that I cut off, it makes it great to add to the inside as well. So I'm just going to add that down there. Just gives some interest to the inside there. All right, so I've got all my pieces and parts now. These I did pre-cut out ahead of time, and these are also part of the die. And I'm simply just going to take the Coastal Cabana one and layer it on top of this lemon lime twist. And then it's going to pop up on the front of the card here. Taking the dimensionals off. All right, and then actually before I put that down, let me put the high on so I can kind of have the lay of the land of where that's going to be. So I think I'm going to do it right about there. And then, okay, the friend is going to be right about here, and I actually need to cut out the white part yet. And so this I want about, probably about there. Oops, right about here. It's going to pop up on there. So I have this base, but I still need the friend part. Remember the first card we cut out the heart, and I had, this is that sticker back paper. This is the rest of it, so that's why I needed to keep it. So let me know, would it be better on these projects like this if I were to have all the die cutting stuff done ahead of time, so I wouldn't have to do that on camera? It's not my favorite thing to do on camera. This out, and it's gonna shake, shake, shake. Sounds like a hit song. All right. Actually, I think I'm going to use my pick tool this time to get that dot off of there. Although, now I got to get the sticky part off. There we go, that worked. So it left the backing on there. And then I'm going to stick it on here. All right. And then the rest of this I'm just going to peel off. Thanks for hanging out with me, ladies. There we go. But I do love the layering of this, and it makes it look so fancy, so professional. So there we go. It's layered. Oh my, look at that. Look at those inky fingers. Oh. All right. And then I'm going to peel this off. And this I knew I only wanted the sticker on kind of the bottom here, or the center part. And then that's just going to get attached right here. Let's go right about there. And then I've got my little hearts. I'm going to put one here. And then I'm going to use one of the mini dimensionals for the smaller one here. And let's put that one up here. And then we've got to add some bling, of course. There we go. So let's see. This one, let's add, let's stick one there. That's a little bit bigger one, and then a smaller one here. And then let's go with another smaller one up here. So there you go. Hi, friend. Miss you. How fun is that? Yay. See, and here's an envelope that would go with it. I just stamped that swoosh with the little hearts. Okay, so let's set that one aside. And then let's see, we got our last card, ladies. We're on to the last one. It's going to look a little funky at first because the card base is this, which is 6 inches by the 4 1/4, and then it's scored at a 1/2 inch. Okay. So you're going to go back to whatever DSP you want to use. And I'm going back to this pack, this well-loved pack. You really could use anything, and I'll show you some samples of where I use different ones. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out because that was the one I think I had in the original. No, that's not. It was a different one. Let's see. Doesn't really matter. Let me flip through here. This will give you a way to kind of see all this goodness in here. But look at all that. Look how fun that is. All those colors. All the watercolors. What's really cool, this is the one I want to use. What's really cool is the artisans at Stampin' Up! Headquarters actually like paint all this. Like, and then they take the art that they paint and they photograph it. And then that becomes our DSP. So I'm going to pull out my paper trimmer again really quick. And let's see, maybe I'll go this way. There won't be quite as much of a glare. So this card, I'm going to want it, I want the stripes to go this way. So I'm going to cut it at the 4 1/4 this time, because I want it to fit the whole side of the card. And then 5 1/2. And then we're just going to go over to, actually on this one, I think I'm going to go this way. 5 1/2. Like that. So it's going to fit on here. So it's going to cover that whole thing. That's going to become the front of the card. So basically all you have to do is take your adhesive and run it on that little 1/2 inch strip right there. And I'm going to go this way. And it's just going to go right on top. Right, just like that. So what's really cool is that becomes the card front. So then when you open the card, you've got all this fun in here as well. And then you'll have, again, this is like a 4 3/4 by 5 inch. This is going to be the inside of my card. I'm going to put this right here on the inside for my message. And then these are the pieces and parts. I'm going to go ahead and do this one real quick. This was, again, the hearts. This is just a piece of scrap. I'm going to stamp that. I'm going to pull out. And we're going to run this through. These could have been on the stickers too, but since I'm popping them up, they don't really need to be. We can just pop up with dimensionals like we have. All right. Get this out of the way. All right. That way I have it ready to go. Okay, so on this piece right here is where my sentiment's going to go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my swish that I used on that second card, and I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So each time it just gets lighter and lighter. Okay, and then I'm going to take the word, or I'm going to have it ready. Wishes are going to end up being down here. So I want to remember that. So when I stamp out the word best, because it's going to say best wishes, that I have enough room for that. So just keep that in mind when you're stamping the word best. So instead of it being in the middle, put it up just a little bit as far as the top and bottom. Okay. Oops, I need that open. So then we're going to do the wishes right under there. Right about there. Best wishes. Oh my goodness. I have so much ink on me. All right, so best wishes. And then this, I'm just going to take it and kind of angle it on top of the blue. About like that. Get back to my card here. And then this, I'm just going to pop the whole thing up. And dimensionals. So, just going to stick a few on here. Probably 4. Okay. And we're going to do it right about there. And then my little hearts that I cut out. Put a dimensional in the back of that one. I probably need a mini one on the little one. Right here. Okay. We're going to stick one here and then stick this one right here. And then we're going to use the ribbon on this. So this is that iridescent striped ribbon. It's also part of the suite. So let's see. I should have measured how much of this I want. But a lot of times this is what I do when I'm just working. I just roll it out. Stick that down there. Now, I'm going to show you a little pointer. Let me go ahead and trim this actually real quick. To make things a little easier for tying when you're doing something like this is to take a glue dot. I just take it off with my snips. You could also use your pick tool and just stick it right there. So then when I go to tie this, and I'm not making an actual bow, I'm just doing a knot. But when I do this and I push it down on that glue dot, see how that stays in place? And it just makes it so much easier for me to do the rest of this. So this is just, like I said, just a knot. And then I'm just going to trim it at an angle. It makes it pretty, plus less likely to fray. I think I want more of an angle on that one. How cute is that? And then, last but not least, of course, we've got to add some bling, right? So let's do, I'm going to do one here and one maybe here. And let's do another one. Let's do one right here. So there we go. Card number 4. Woohoo! So let me go back. That was card number 4. We're going to go back to this was card number 1. Card number 2. We got artsy on those. Got creative with some of the techniques. Card number 3, which we didn't need to get a whole artsy because the paper does it for you. And the same with this one. The paper really does it for you. So those are the 4 cards, ladies. How fun was that? So I just love this. And let me show you some other ones that I did that have a little bit different. I gotta find them. Oh, here they are. So we did this in the on the class the other day. So since they were in my studio, they could use any folder they wanted. So a lot of them, actually all of them, ended up using this one of the new leaf ones. But isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, it's probably my favorite. I like them both. But I just absolutely love that folder. I have some plain ones too. I'm not sure what I did with those. Oh, here. Hold on. Nope. I don't know what I did with those. There's some that I just left the background plain and just kind of splattered. But which is your favorite? I don't know. I love them both. And this one just looks different depending on how much ink, how much color you have on there. They all look a little bit different. And then, let's see, this one. So depending on the paper you use, the DSP, I used a different DSP for this one. And instead of using the Coastal Cabana, I pulled out that Rich Raspberry? No. Berry Burst. Rich Raspberry is an old retired one. Berry Burst. And stamp that off. So a little bit different just to pull the colors out of here. And then when you open it up, this is the inside on that one. Oh, I forgot to stamp the inside of that. Best wishes, it really could be anything. It could be a retirement. It could be a new baby. Oops. Oh my goodness. Did you just see what I just did? Ladies, if I can do this, anyone can. Okay. This is when I'm trying to stamp through the screen. So I just thought happy birthday would be good. But isn't that fun how different they look? Just using a different DSP and, you know, different ink colors. And then let me see, the same with this one. So this one I used a different, it's the same layout, but it didn't have all the rainbow colors. It just had more of the blues and the greens. But everything else is the same in that. So, hi, friend, miss you. Oh, I forgot to do that on the inside. So, oh, I did. No, I did miss you on that one. This one, I cut that strip. Put some of it up here and some of it down there. So, but isn't it amazing how it looks a little different? So, anyway, those are the cards. Let me flip things around. Let me move that. I hope you enjoyed stamping with me tonight. And here's the thing. This video is going to stay up. I'm going to get it up on YouTube. So it's there. So it will live here. So here's the thing. Obviously, the ladies that registered ahead of time tonight got the packet in the mail. And they got the full pack of DSP. And they got a full pack of the gems to play with. They even got the little bows cut for them. I spoiled them. But if you missed out on that, because that's done, I'm not doing that again. But what I am doing is that if you place a $40 order, which means you can go ahead and order those things, or you can order the bundle. Like you can order the bundle with the dies, or you could just order the whole suite, which is really what I would do, because that's your best deal. Order the whole suite, and that way you have it all. And you're going to have lots of extra paper to play with once you're done, and even lots of extra gems, because I've made these cards numerous times now. I don't even know where my gems are. I don't know, numerous times, and I still have at least a half a packet of gems still left. So anyway, if you put in a $40 order using the host code, and I'll put that in the comments on this or description once I post. It's also in my last post, the host code. Then I will send you the make and take packets. Now, I will tell you, the make and take packets are going to have the basic cardstock cut and scored for you. It'll have like the circle for the high card for this one, out of the Stylish Dies. It'll have that. You know, it'll have this cardstock cut, like that says the thank you on it, you know, the pieces and parts. What it won't have, it's not going to have any of the die cut pieces that I die cut tonight. Okay, that's part of, you know, what you would have to do. Or you could use something that you already have. You can just use the pieces and parts of the card kit and use other things that you have. You may have a heart die at home, or you might have a script that you can use. But I do encourage you to order this bundle though, and use the dies and the stamp set. At least the dies, because oh my goodness, how fun are these dies that cut that heart out, and the leaf and the word friend. But anyway, if you get those, again, if you put in a $40 order, then I will send you the card kit, so you'll have enough to do one of each of these cards for free. If you end up placing a $50 order, I will also throw in a pack of these gems for free. Okay, so that's a $50 order. Now, if you can think of anything else that you have questions for, please don't hesitate to reach out. This was really fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and it was good to see you here tonight, and I hope you come and stamp with me again soon. Bye-bye, ladies.